Good afternoon. We enter into the last session of this 2-day seminar. Okay? May I invite Dr. Uday Kumar, Mrs. Hema, Mrs. Meera, Mr. Iragamani. So, நேற்றுக்கு நம்ம பேசும்பொழுது we were talking about a panel discussion where all your clarifications, doubts, experts' opinion to be addressed from the panel. இப்போ நம்ம பேனல்ல வந்து மிஸ்டர் உதயகுமார் இருக்கார். அவர் வந்து கிண்டி காலேஜினுடைய அலுமினி, டெல்லியில் நேஷனல் ஸ்மால் இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ் கார்பரேஷனில் டைரக்டராக இருக்கார். He has been very supportive of entrepreneurs, MSMEs, industries, and ஒரு டெல்லியில் நேஷனல் ஸ்மால் இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ் கார்பரேஷனை நிர்வாகம் பண்ணணும்னா எவ்வளவு அனுபவம் இருக்கணும். அவர் டெல்லியிலிருந்து இந்த ஈவெண்ட்ல உங்க கூட பேசணும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக வந்திருக்கார். ஹார்ட்டி வெல்கம் டு யூ மிஸ்டர் உதயகுமார். We have with us Mrs. Meera. Meera is heading the planning and operation of various role model innovation and entrepreneurship programs. Forge Academy னு கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க. அதனுடைய சீஃப் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் ஆஃபீஸர், ப்ரோக்ராம் ஆஃபீஸர், and she has also come from outstation to be part of this event. Hearty welcome to you, Meera. We have Mr. Iragamani. Mr. Iragamani Dinamani is known in various programs of employability skill development. ஹொசூர்லேருந்து அவர் வந்திருக்கார். அவருடைய நிறைய ஸ்பீச்சஸ் வந்து சோஷியல் மீடியாவில் பலமுறை பகிரப்பட்டது, பலமுறை பார்க்கப்பட்டது. I personally requested him to come and address the students on the employability skills. Thank you, Mr. Iragamani, for joining us today. Mrs. Hema is not an unknown person to any of you in the circle. She was formerly the Vice President of HCL, Tata Consultancy Services. Then she was with KPMG. She was part of the Academic Council of Anna University. Very, very passionate about youth empowerment, students' lifestyle, job opportunities, skill development. In the subject la எனக்கு ஒரே ஒரு பயம்தான் இருந்தது. இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம் நான் ஆரம்பிக்கிறச்ச ஹேமாவை நம்மளால் எப்படி ஒரு 5-6 நிமிஷத்துக்குள்ள கண்டெயின் பண்ணுறது. ஏன்னா இந்த சப்ஜெக்ட் அவங்க மறந்துடுவாங்க அவங்களையே. தட் இஸ் ஹவு ஷி இஸ் ஸோ பேஷனேட் இன் ஸ்பீக்கிங் ஆன் த சப்ஜெக்ட். தேங்க்யூ மிஸ்ஸஸ் ஹேமா கோபால். இவ்வளவு பேர் ஸ்டேஜில் இருக்கும் பொழுது இன்னொரு பக்கத்தில் லஞ்சினுடைய டைம் நம்மளை ஹரி பண்ண போகுது. Not an easy task, but all of them know their time constraints today. All of them are aware that I will never tell them finish the talk. I will only ask them to continue the talk. They will themselves moderate because they have been conducting several programs, not only speaking on programs, but conducting several programs, so they know the time constraints, pulse of the audience, and the needs of the program. உங்கள யாருக்கு I will ask them to speak few minutes about what they want to communicate. After that, உங்கள யாருக்கு என்ன கேள்வி உங்களுக்கு கேட்கணும் இருந்தாலும் அவங்கள கேட்கலாம். They are capable of handling any subjects Every speaker in this 2-day seminar have been very carefully identified. As you saw the previous session, it's not an easy task of containing people like this in a couple of minutes of talking, but we tried doing it justice. I have heard Dr. Rajaram speaking for hours together on this subject and keeping the audience mesmerized. எனக்கு அதுதான் ப்ராப்ளம். நான் அவர்கிட்ட சொன்னது, சார் நீங்கள் அதிகமாக பேசிட்டீங்கன்னா மகுடி வாசிக்கிற மாதிரி பாம்பெல்லாம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்படும், அப்புறம் எங்களால் அடுத்த சப்ஜெக்டுக்கு கூப்பிட்டு போக முடியாதுன்னு சொன்னோம். That is the problem. Thank you. I stop here. I request Mr. Uday Kumar to kindly take over.
Good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank Mr. Raghu, AIMO, and Anna University for inviting me for this techno seminar program, which is being held in the same in Vivekananda Audi, where we used to spend a lot of time during our college days. Dear students, my co-panelists, other dignitaries who are here, I would like to extend a very warm welcome. I think we are a little short of time, so I do not like to take much time. Whatever we are talking about, skill sets required for students, especially the engineering students who are coming out of the colleges in the recent days, I think this particular topic will be very relevant. And of course, the topics which were covered before me were excellent subjects. In fact, I have not seen such contents and delivery of these subjects even in any of the national level seminars. Excellent deliveries on drone, fintech. I mean, it's absolutely great. So I will take only 5 to 7 minutes for my presentation. In fact, I would like to say that this is an auditorium which is almost responsible for shaping up my career. I came to this college, those days called as Gindi Anna University. We stayed away from the villages. In fact, I hail from a village which are from the down south. You know, there is a mix of students from city, villages who were studying at that time. There used to be even a fear to get onto this podium of this, this auditorium. That is a kind of system, ecosystem those days. You know, we came with a raw background. I studied in Tamil medium. In fact, speaking English itself was considered to be a very elitic kind of behavior of students those days. In fact, there are many guys who used to come from day scholars and they used to dominate all functions in this auditorium. We used to be just mute spectators sitting in this audience. So I think I would also like to, in fact, thank those systems which really motivated me to go further and in upskilling my qualifications. In fact, that made me to go to the next, with humility, I can say that, this system helped me to get into IIM Bangalore, then further on. And today, like what I'm standing before you as a board of director in one of the PSU, especially for the MSMEs, it's all, I can say that the credit goes to Anna University for its, the support which it provided. So I hope I can also see many of you coming to the national level as directors and chairman of PSUs as well as private corporates. So I would like to only, focus on some of the skill sets. When we talk about skill sets which are required for students who are coming out of the colleges, I would like to go through some of the slides. Next. So I have seen several recruitments. We have also recruited. Right. I will just rush through the slides. See, basically, it's very simple. I know there are a lot of students who could not connect with some other topics. But one thing is you have to keep it in mind. The future belongs only those students who learn more skills, who has got an appetite to learn more skills, and who can combine in a creative ways. Next one. So today's employer, unlike the earlier systems, they look only for academic achievements. But today the employers look for a combination. They want technology skills from you as well as they want the soft skills also for you. Otherwise, actually, they will not prefer you. Next. So when you talk about technological skills, especially for the engineering students, these are the expectations from the employer. You should be digital savvy, and you should also know the programming. Not, those days, teamwork and collaboration. This is very much essential in Indian context because everybody moves in a different directions. So you have to be a team player. And critical thinking and problem solving. Being an engineer, I think normally it's your natural talent. You will have the process, but you have to demonstrate that. Then professionalism and strong work ethics. In every organization, be it as a government or private, you have to do everything in an ethical manner. There may be a lot of pressures, but still you have to do it ethically. Oral and written communication skills, which are basically required. I think even now, engineering colleges teach the English and all this in the first year. I think basically, I personally feel, which are not required now because people come with complete proficiency when they join the first year itself. Those days, people didn't even know the proper English, so they used to have this English as one of the subjects. Next, please. So again, as a student, when you're doing the final year, you need to do a SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, threat analysis, which will also help you to identify what is your status. In the sense, where you do well, what is that you can do well, whether it's your analytical skills, whether your behavior, whether your soft skills, what are my skill sets? That you have to differentiate and you should be able to analyze it. Then what sets me apart? What differentiates you from others? Because even in the recruitment or in the interview, you have to show some USPs. So you have to define and you should demonstrate that. Next is actually opportunities. What are the current trends, which I think morning we saw fintech areas, drone, logistics. I think these are the emerging areas. Mostly engineers will not look for it, but I think this is going to be the future. So then who needs my skills? Suppose if you want to get into the sectors, what is that you have to develop new? How can I prosper? So you should set an ambition. You should know maybe after 10 years down the line, what I'm going to be. Weaknesses, what skill sets I look, and where I can improve. That you have to identify and you have to go on improving it. Then what holds me back, whether it's your communication, whether it's your analytical ability or your knowledge. So you have to see that. Then threats, what are your obstacles? Is it the geography or the place? That is you have to see. Then again, competition. Then what I can't control. I think these are the SWOT analysis you have to do. Next slide, please. And this is basically the strategic analysis, which internal analysis you have to, strengths you have to build and enhance. And if you have weaknesses, you have to reduce and you have to eliminate. And if you have opportunities external side, you have to exploit and expand. Threats, you should totally avoid. You should not worry about the threats. Otherwise, you cannot progress. And this is some of my thought points for guys like you who are coming out of the college. And I think the rest of the things probably I can take it in the question hour session. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to one and all gathered here. I'm Dr. Meera from Forge, which is essentially a technology business incubator, today acting as an innovation platform, bringing together industry, academia, and government. The core purpose with which we exist is to accelerate the innovation economy of the country at large. So that's the vision that we have set on. And when we started that journey in 2015, one important thing that came up is if we have to create innovators and startup founders, then we will have to work on a mission that will help our young graduates make entrepreneurship as a preferred career choice. So that's the larger ambition that we got into this journey of working with academic institutions across the country. When I say startup, over the last 2 days, many of you have been hearing various things on skills competency development. Many of you are hearing about emerging technologies and how these technologies can solve various problems in the real time. You are also hearing a lot from various speakers about the startup world is the future. And there is a lot of opportunity for you to create your own startups and also to get employed in startups and be able to work in a small team, in a very agile, progressive team, creating solutions for real world problems. So you've been hearing a lot of these things. What we took up in 2017, looking at these opportunities, is one key word called innovation. We said with institutions, with students, can each of us work with only one ambition, not multiple ambitions like skill development, entrepreneurship development, employability, startup creation, but can we look at only one ambition that will help us to achieve a multifaceted impact? And we took innovation as a road to that. And a principle with which we operate, that can innovation bring skills, competencies? Can innovation create employable engineers in the state and in the country? And that can, in context, lead to entrepreneurship for the future. What we have been doing in the last 6-7 years has given us a lot of learning that this is something that's possible. 2017, in the same stage, in the same auditorium, we had presented a model called a prototyping semester. A semester where a multidisciplinary teams come together, take up an industrial problem, and solve the problem, and if there is a potential, we enable them, not just evangelize, but enable them as innovators and startup founders. Through this, we have seen students become skilled and competent in various emerging technology areas, whether it is electric mobility, whether it is AI, machine learning, virtual reality, robotics, drones, across sectors. If there could be a process and a system that could transform our pedagogies in the classroom. So, what I would like to place in the interest of time before each of the students here, I have an ask for each of the students here. If you really want to become employable, can you transform yourself into innovators and be entrepreneurial? Look at the skills and competencies that you need to acquire so that you can innovate solutions. And how can you approach that in a very entrepreneurial way so that you are ready to work in a future that's going to be a lot of uncertainties that you will face. The second thing to the faculty members, if we have to create a lot of entrepreneurs, we have to produce a lot of innovators. Which I mean, if we have thousands of innovations, then one of them will have a potential to become a startup from our own campuses. And every year, each of our campuses produce 250 projects, solving some problems, building some products. If each one of them can be innovative, then there could be a possibility of 10,000 plus prototypes and products that could be innovated in our campuses, contributing to the increase of the number of startups that the state can produce. And largely, third, to the academic administration and to the industry members here. If we can only work together in a very structured process where both the parties, where the industry and the academia can closely engage on a win-win partnership of today, the problem that the industry have is access to these emerging technologies and the access to the manpower who can utilize these emerging technologies in our factories. And what the academia has challenges is delivering courses in emerging technologies and building content which is ready for which is very dynamic for us to produce future-ready talent. So how do we bring these two together so that every project in the college is no more a project but a product solving a real-world industrial problem, giving access to technology to our industry, our MSMEs, and also giving access to our students to work on real-world problems and becoming innovators. So with this, a few words, thank you. Wish you all, I hope you had a great learning experience in the last 2 days. And when you look at skills from the lens of innovation. Thank you. Wish you all the best.
So, good afternoon, friends who are assembled here. It's a great privilege to stand in front of you always because I feel one among you and I feel also young. So, thank you, sir, for this opportunity. Actually, from the morning I was observing a lot of Star Wars was talking about technologies, availability of opportunities today. So, only one thing is that we are here to guide you, we are here to help you, but only thing is that you have to grab the opportunities. Okay, so it is up to you. And one of the speaker today who was talking about the drone technology, he rightly mentioned that be very specific and be very focused on what you are going to plan for the future. Don't take too many things. Identify now itself what is your core area, dwell on that, work on that, get a deeper insight, deeper knowledge about that, and move forward. Either you are going to choose your career into be an industry, or it could be your entrepreneurship. Whatever could be the choice which you have. But basically, thing is that way we called as niche area. Okay, so you have to identify your core niche area where you feel that you are good at, where you are very confident about that. Try to acquire more knowledge about that. Okay, so for this to do that, it's very important that you have to have employability skills which you have to be aware of that. So we called as 8 employability skills. According to me, there are few things to be mentioned. One thing is the communication. It's very, very core importance because if we take that in a business process, two-way communication is very important that when you are interact with your customers, so you should be able to understand what customers are really talking about that. So in that perspective, you should be a good listener together and you should be a good communicator. In many situations I come across when I talk to students because my profile goes like this. I was in industry for 28 years where I also had an opportunity of recruiting the students for 13 years as a core panelist in various institutions. So that's the thing actually which I was telling about that. So basically thing is you have to be very, very confident about what that you are doing it. So that's very, very important for all of you. So employability skills is one of the very things that which you have to take into consideration. Basically the communication skill, team working skill, team building skills is very important. And the thing is that if you get into an industry, you should able to work in a project in alignment with the people. So that could be different people which we have to interact with them, get along with them, and work with them. And basically, one more thing is organizing skills. Is one of the very important skill as part of employability skills. So what is organizing skills? So basically, for example, we take this event. So organizing an event for 2 days like this, lining up a lot of panel speakers, eminent speakers, organizing the hall. It's not an easy joke. It's very difficult, but it's not. We cannot say that it's not possible at all. So, if from the institution side, please try to involve yourself in getting engaged yourself. I'll use this word, engagement. Please get engaged with opportunities like event like this. Whatever happens in your own institutions, even it is small or big, try to involve yourself there. You pick up a lot of ideas, lot of confidence. Small problems will come. Definitely it will come. If you don't come, then you will not learn. So that is one of the team and organizing skills which you have to take it and move forward. One more thing that I'll say, I tell to the students, industry expects engineers, not engineering graduates. This always I tell to them. What do we mean by industry expects engineers, not engineering graduates? So merely having a certificate and saying that I am an engineering graduate, it's of no use for all of us. So that means we have to have a deep understanding about the subject. So we should have what are things going on in the job market, what is happening in the market outside, what the business is going on. So try to have a 360 view about what is happening around you to gain yourself much better. Before concluding one thing, I just tell my way of formula for success, which I feel it's working out. So formula for success, according to me, is attitude plus skills plus academia. So I just repeat, formula for success is attitude plus skills plus academia. So academic comes the last. That doesn't mean that it is not important, but according to me, to be a very successful engineer, you have to have a lot of attitude. So for example, you know the technology, you know everything, but at the end of the day, if your attitude is something different, so you cannot grow up in the ladder. So that's one thing which I am seeing for last 30 years, 31 years, I'm seeing that. So build up a good attitude and approach towards the people. Be flexible and agile. So that's one important thing which we have to say that. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. So God bless you all.
எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். செவிக்கு உணவு இல்லாத பொழுது சிறிது வயிற்றுக்கும் ஈயப்படும். I think we are all waiting for the lunch after this. First of all, before I start, I want to thank Raghu for inviting me to be there. But last but not the least, so this is a concluding speech, and all of you have been sitting from the morning. So just to give you a small exercise, I would like all of you to give a standing ovation to Aimo and Raghu for an excellent program. Can I request all of you to give a 1 minute standing ovation to him, please? I think for him and the entire Aimo, I think they richly deserve. I can't hear from the back. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, and I think nandri marappadu nandandru, nandralladu andre marappadu nandru. I think as the speaker said, I also studied in a Tamil medium. I did my BSc Mathematics. I'm also an alumnus of Anna University, MIT campus. Then I went on to do my MS from IIT Madras, Computer Science, and stayed in one company for 36 years. Really not very fashionable person, like all of you, who probably would like to really see different organizations for different challenges. I think as a teacher here, I've been teaching here for the last 14 years from the industry perspective. I want to also ask you questions. Please be ready. India put IT into the world map. And who put India into the IT? Any answers from the students? It's all the students like yourselves. I think when we all joined, we were only 1,000 in the organization. Now we are talking about 5 lakh. I think IT is not information technology. It is the Indian talent, and it is all of you who have really put it. I think Madam has talked about the innovation. I think you all, when you clap your hands, your heart rate will become more regularized. Does it give you any clue? Okay. The next question I am going to ask, if you have to shut down your computer, you always press a button. That is, press 3 buttons. It is Control Alt Delete. I will talk about what it is, and you have the liberty to answer me. And there will be the last question which I will ask you. When I saw Raghu's mail, which is requesting this entire seminar to be led by the industry, there were 4 traceability. One is to talk about the opportunities for the faculty and the students in our field of expertise. Second is to really find out what kind of skill development is required. And third is how the employability can be increased. I think these are the 3 things which I will cover in next 3 minutes. The first and the foremost thing is the industry and the academia should come together. They can probably talk about industry-led curriculum development, like some of us are teaching here. And it can be the COEs which can be set up, which she was talking about the Forge, which has got an outshoot of the Kumaraguru College of Technology, where I also happen to be the member of the Governing Council and the Board of Studies. And then the third is to really do a sabbatical of the professors into industry and the industry into the academia. And the fifth is to really lead projects which are disruptive in nature. And the sixth is to really define a curriculum which will be in terms of the future technology need. I think all these things will bridge the gap between the industry and the academia. What do you mean by skill and what do you mean by competency? If some of you are ISO savvy, you will really see that ISO 9126 as well as the latest one, ISO 2510, talk about what is the difference between the competency. Competency is not just the skill or the ability to perform a task that is given to you. It is the competency is encompassing the skill, the knowledge, as well as the know-how, the process ability to do a work. I think that is what is it in the IT world. NASSCOM talks about more than 2.3 lakh of people to be getting a job, so abundant opportunities. And then the scaling up in terms of cross-skilling an employee and upskilling an employee is already there in digital technologies, and that is what we are all in. And what the employer needs, I think I've got one small thing to tell, and we will finish on time. What the employer needs, what you have already, I think it is like Deming's principle. We'll state the positives first. You have the domain knowledge, you have the quick learning ability, you have the critical thinking, you have problem solving and creativity. And I'm talking about the abilities that you need to have, the flexibility, the adaptability, the scalability, and also the learnability. And as somebody said, it is learn, unlearn, and relearn, because most of us have sailed through the IT world from 85 to 2022. We have really learned a lot of technologies, a lot of platforms, a lot of customer, a lot of domain. I'm sure each one of you will be able to do that. If we have done it in 30 years, I'm sure with all your capability, you'll do it in less than so many, less than few years. And the last thing that I wanted to say was that what is the expectation from the employer and what is academia? Academia has to really bring in a lot of framework as well as tools and technologies so that you are prepared well when you actually meet the need, so that the meantime between allocation when you are inducted into an organization will become very, very less. And then I said that I'm going to ask you two questions. One is to reboot your computer. You press Control Alt Delete. Control C is communication, A is attitude, L is learnability, and then T is teamwork, and D is the decision-making ability. And then that is what I'm talking about as the rebooting of yourself in the future. And I'm very sure that there are abundant opportunities. The job fair has been very good. And the last question to all of you, because I wanted to finish on time, the skill development is something which, as he said, is a very big area where we can go on and on. And this Vivekananda auditorium is really, very, it is all, so many times we have come here and did so many pre-placement talk, and I'm happy to be here. So the last question to all of you students, what is WWW? Can somebody answer before we close? Yeah? Can you be a bit loud, please? I can't hear you. I think I would like to change the definition. It is work, and work diligently till you achieve your goals. Thank you so much.
So who is going to ask the questions? Normally, உங்ககிட்ட இந்த பதில் தான் கேட்பாங்க. இந்த வாட்டி first time உங்ககிட்ட இருந்து question கேட்கிறோம். Who is going to ask the question? I have some more on the audience. Some of the speakers are also available. Dr. Saravanan is available from the College of Engineering. Most knowledgeable person we have had the interaction with. Anybody have any questions to ask or any clarifications to be answered? கை தூக்குங்க, போறோம். வாங்க வாங்க வாங்க, டக்குன்னு வாங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் யார் கேட்கணுமோ இங்க பக்கத்துல வந்து நின்றுங்க. டயத்தை வேஸ்ட் பண்ணாம நம்ம நேரடியா கேள்விக்கு போலாம். சீக்கிரம் வாங்க. எவ்வளவு பேர் வரீங்க? வாங்க, 5 பேர்.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's been a nice 2-day session. Thank you for Anna University and the manufacturer organization AMIO for arranging. So honoring the panel members, my clarification is common to all the speakers. And so we have the faculty and the students who are being present here. And for the students and the staff, there are different ways to continuously upgrade themselves. And we have seen a lot in the technological emerging trends and how important is the industrialists require to present journals which is directly accessible to the academia. So regarding the journals which is accessible.
Most of the journals from the industry are published in the public domain, like Harvard Business Review and also the Gartners and others are all there. All the technological journals are all open, are all in the open world. And most of them are really subscribed by the academia, and it is all available either as brochures or as, or as containers. I think you can access each and every one of them. In fact, that is the best thing for the academia to access the industry-related journals.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pa. Come, Ma.
Good afternoon, everyone who are gathered here. Myself as Zinat from Bardia College from Salem. I came here to ask some questions. Here, at first, I thank everyone for this golden opportunity how we can start our career. But I had one small doubt. Everyone has talent with them, but we are not getting the chance to expose that. So now ma'am had said that there are lots of startups we are encouraged, and then I also have some ideas, but I can't get chance. I came here to get some chance for me. Can you give 5 minutes for me, ma'am?
ஒரே ஒரு நிமிஷம் மீரா, ஒரே நிமிஷம். ஐடியா ப்ராஜெக்ட் காம்படிஷனுக்கு அப்ளை பண்ணியாமா?
No, sir.
ஏம்மா?
Still I didn't get in.
7300 பேர் அந்த ஐடியா ப்ராஜெக்ட்ல அப்ளை பண்ணி ஒரு 17 ப்ரொஃபசர்ஸ் 3 நாளா அந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஸ்டடி பண்ணி இன்னைக்கு ஒரு 5 பேருக்கு சிஎம் கையால அவார்டு கொடுக்குறோம், ரூபா கொடுக்குறோம், பேங்க்ல இருந்து சாங்ஷன் லெட்டர் கொடுக்குறாங்க, ப்ராஜெக்டை ரெடி பண்றோம், ஏஐசியில இருந்து அவங்கள இன்குபேட் பண்ண போறாங்க. Opportunities do not come to you. You must chase the opportunities. புரியுதா?
So that I came here, sir.
Okay, good. I mean, I will talk to you separately, not now on the stage. But quickly, one thing I wanted to say for everybody who's chasing an idea and who wants to, you don't have to go for help to anybody. Look at the person who will benefit and pay you if you will solve that problem. Go to him and validate it. If he agrees, then everybody else will follow and support you after that, right? That's the first place you should go. Who is your customer? And try to validate your idea there first. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Just 1 minute, ma'am. Basically, being a PSU, like we always encourage people to go for self-employment, okay? I'm not supposed to talk about employability. So there are a lot of incubators available across India, even in Tamil Nadu, even our NSIC. One of our mandates is to incubate people to take up self-employment. And a lot of this incubation programs are almost free, okay? You can approach any one of our nearest incubators. We also have through PPP mode, or you can even approach us through email or through our net. Definitely, I think once you undergo the incubation program, definitely you can become self-employed. Then you can forget about the employment. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
ஹலோ எவ்ரிவன். நான் இங்கே தமிழில் தான் பேச போகிறேன். யாரும் பணிக்காக வேணாம், இங்கிலீஷில் தான் பேசல, ஓகே? ஒன்லி பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் அந்த நேம் மட்டும்தான், அவர் நேம் மட்டும்தான் தமிழில் பேச போகிறேன், ஓகேவா? ஓகே, மை கொஸ்டின் இஸ் ஏஐ பேஸ்டு. இப்போது ஏஐ பேஸ்டு EVs are best in performance. Why our government is not showing more interest on it? AI based EVs, electronic vehicles, are best in their performance, but why our government is not showing more interest on it, ma'am?
No, I think he is talking about EV, migration to EV. Adana pesringa? ஒய் கவர்மெண்ட் வந்து ஏன் ஈவிக்கு போகிறது இல்லை அப்படின்னு கேட்குறீங்க இல்லையா உடனே?
Artificial intelligence based.
Artificial, you're talking about AI. Okay, you can answer.
Artificial intelligence based electronic vehicles are best in their performance. Why our government is not showing more interest on that?
If any of you want to answer.
Answer, yes, sir.
If any of you want to answer. You are conversant in that field.
Mike.
See, this question is an excellent question, and I must congratulate you firstly for coming up with such a question. SKF bearings now is coming up with such a thing. Basically, now you have to look at all your Ola cars running on EVs, electric vehicles. Different state of charge will be there. Batteries will be on different state of charge. Whether they can reach the destination, what is called the destination anxiety will be there. So therefore, there needs to be a program which will control and redirect. So it is connected with the battery capacity, the transport networking, and the demand. All these three factors are taken into account by SKF to arrive at a kind of a solution. So this is work in progress. So it will soon be there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, I want to ask one question. This is the time to change the question pattern, sir. What we are asking the university questions and all. We should ask the out-of-box questions. Then only the students will develop their critical thinking and problem-solving skills, sir. Because we are typically asking define, differentiate, discuss. This type of questions only we are asking. See, we need to change the question pattern. Then only the students will think different. They can think and write. Because nowadays they are boycotting and writing. This is my view, sir.
We will take it to the concerned people and pass it on to them. Thank you. But தெரிஞ்ச கேள்வி கேட்டாலே அரியர்ஸ் தான் நிறைய இருக்கு. Out of the box எல்லாம் கேள்வி கேட்டா எப்படி வரும் முதல்ல?
Sir, we have to change.
No, you asked me a question, I asked you back a question. What is the best way to answer? Offense is the best form of a defense.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Kashish, and I basically from Amit University pursuing BSc Nautical Science. I come from a seafaring background and currently placed in Maersk Line. As we have all discussed about the artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, and their integration into various industry, but our shipping industry is lagging behind it. I want to ask a question to Captain Ramjan, sir, that how we can enhance the integration of these technology in this sector, especially the integration of blockchain technology in bill of lading, or is there any possibility that we can reduce the paperless technology in shipping industry, sir?
Thank you. Actually, the shipping industry is one of the forerunners, okay? Liner routes. You would have heard about tramping and liner routes. What is tramping? Tramping is when the ship is chasing for cargo. What is liners? They are where the cargo is chasing the ship. Now, in this kind of a thing, all the liner routes, which port of call, is completely decided by the kind of a demand. If the ship is running empty, you're going to be running at a loss. So therefore, this entire liner route is based on the demand which is aggregated, and there's a complete blockchain control. Liner routes are decided by that. The second thing, in fact, Japan's vessel is running completely autonomous without anybody, and it's already sailing around the world. So therefore, we are quite in tandem, in pace with technology. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello everyone. Like myself, Syed Aftab Hussain, and I am from Apollo Engineering College, pursuing my BA Aeronautical Engineering. And like sir told, there is a huge boom in the drone industry now. There is a huge boom in the drone industry now in India and the whole world. But in this part of time, we have completely banned the import of drones from foreign countries. So how it will affect in India? And there is also the shortage of raw materials in electronics, like silica shortage and board chip shortage and all. How it will overcome, and how will you compete the pricing with the other companies which will provide it, from the abroad brands?
Who would like to answer? Everybody present?
See, I think as they gave in the presentation, drone is going to be a huge opportunity, okay? Nobody can deny that. How it is becoming a huge opportunity, like Government of India has banned drones. Drones is a very sensitive instrument, especially when you are using in defense and, safety, security related issues. Second is, yes, this transition is a temporary dead back. Yes, there is a shortage of chips, semiconductors. That is why government has sensed. Now government has come out with the PLI schemes. Semiconductor is also now covered under the PLI scheme. I think once the PLI scheme is implemented, that will give a very competitive supply of semiconductors and chips to this industry. I think this is all passing cloud. Maybe in another year's time, India will be in a position to supply drones to the world market.
Thank you. Thank you. So, friends, we will go to the last question and we will wind up with that question. Please. He is an employee from Tunga Aerospace.
So, hello everyone. So, I have one question. In the last 2 days, பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து எல்லாரும் வந்து ஸ்கில்ஸை வந்து டெவலப் பண்ணுங்க. எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு ஸ்கில்ஸ் இருக்கும். அந்த ஸ்கில்ஸை மட்டும் ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணி நீங்கள் படிச்சிங்கன்னா இல்லை க்ரோத் பண்ணிக்கிட்டிங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு கண்டிப்பாக எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் இருக்குன்றாங்க. பட் ஆனால் எல்லா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்குமே வந்து ஸ்கில்ஸ் இருக்குது, அதை நான் கண்டிப்பாக ஒத்துக்கிறேன். பட் ஆனால் அந்த ஸ்கில்ஸ் என்ன இருக்குன்றது அந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கு வந்து கண்டிப்பாக தெரியாது அன்டில் ஏதாவது ஒரு ட்ரிகர் நடக்கிற வரைக்கும். ஸோ அந்த ட்ரிகர் வந்து யார் கொடுப்பா? எய்தர் அஸ் டீச்சர்ஸ் ஆர் ஃபேமிலி ஆர் சரௌண்டிங். ஸோ அதுதான் என்னோட கொஸ்டின்ஸ். அந்த ட்ரிகர் வந்து கொடுத்தா மட்டும்தான் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கிட்டேருந்து அந்த ஸ்கில்ஸ் எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ண முடியுன்றதை நான் கண்டிப்பாக ஒத்துக்கிறேன்.
இந்த கொஸ்டின் வந்து ரொம்ப இட்ஸ் லைக் அ கேட்ச் இன் த சில்லி பாயிண்ட். பிகாஸ் உங்களோட ட்ரிகர் செல்ஃப் அசஸ்மெண்ட்டுக்கே உங்களுக்கே தெரியும் வாட் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ஸ்கில்ஸ் யூ ஹேவ் அப்படின்னு. தட் இஸ் கால்ட் செல்ஃப் இன்ட்ராஸ்பெக்ஷன். அண்ட் அட் த சேம் டைம் உங்களோட டீச்சர் வில் அசஸ் வாட் இஸ் யுவர் லேர்னபிலிட்டி அண்ட் லேர்னிங் எபிலிட்டி இன் யுவர் சப்ஜெக்ட் ஏரியா. அண்ட் த தேர்ட் இஸ் when you are presenting something in the external world in a technical conference, they will actually assess you for your depth, communication and presentation skills. So you will definitely know where you stand in a range of 1 to 10. Okay? When you are coming into an industry, for example, if you are coming into an IT industry where you are supposed to learn Python or R programming in an AI/ML, or you have to learn a Swift programming, or you have to learn a Golang or Java or C++, you will be tested for your fundamental knowledge on your analytical ability and programming ability, whether you have learned C or C++. And there will be an entry test. So everything is in a VETVX model, entry, task, validation, exit. So your entry criteria of what you learn and what you have will be assessed, and based on that, a program will be designed for you. If you have to learn some skill. So you will be accredited along with what is your job requirement at that point in time. So when you are growing in an industry, depending on the role you take, your skill level will be always assessed, and you will also know how to do a self-assessment, as well as somebody else will do a peer and your external assessment also.
மேம், நீங்கள் சொன்னது புரியுது. பட் ஆனால் நீங்கள் ஜாப் ஜாயின் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமேட்டு உங்களோட ஸ்கில்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட் ஆகும்ன்றது நல்லா டீட்டெயிலாக சொல்கிறீங்க. பட் ஆனால் நான் என்ன சொல்ல வரேன்னா, பசங்களுக்கு ஜென்ரலாகவே ஸ்கில்ஸ் இருக்குது. பட் ஆனால் அந்த ஸ்கில் என்னன்றதே அவங்களால சொல்ல முடியல வாயை திறந்து. அது ஒன் ப்ராப்ளம். ரெண்டாவது ஒன்று வந்து சம் ஒன் நீட்ஸ் டு கைட் ப்ராப்பர்லி. ஸோ அந்த கைட்னஸ் வந்து காலேஜஸ் ஸ்கூல்ஸ்லாம் வந்து கரெக்டாக கொடுக்குதா? ஏன்னா இப்போ நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எஜுகேஷன் நம்ம கரிக்குலமை கவர் பண்ணுறதுக்கு தான் வந்து மெஜாரிட்டி
நிச்சயமா அதில் வந்து சந்தேகமே கிடையாது. ஏன்னா ஸ்கில் இருக்கிறதுன்னா சொல்ல தெரியாதுன்னா சொல்ல வேண்டியது தான் ஸ்கில்லே. சொல்லாமல் மறைப்பது வந்து ஸ்கில் கிடையாது. கடைசியா மௌனம் வந்து சம்மதத்திற்கு அறிகுறின்னு சொல்கிறோம். ஆனால் எனக்கு என்ன ஸ்கில் இருக்குது, Whether I am good at mathematics, I am good at, computer architecture, or I am good at manufacturing, I am good at induction motors. நான் தான் என்னுடைய அசஸ்மெண்ட்டில் எனக்கு நிச்சயமாக தெரியும், என்னுடைய டீச்சருக்கு தெரியும். அதை எப்படி அப்ளை பண்ணுறதுங்கிறது தான் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி கேட்குறது. அதனால உங்களுடைய ஸ்கில் லெவல் அட் த டைம் ஆஃப் tacit knowledge will be assessed by your college, which is basically the subject knowledge. அவங்க சொன்னாங்களே எல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டே இருக்கோம், நம்ம என்ன சொல்கிறோங்கிறது தெரியலன்னு. அந்த லெவல் will be assessed. After that, you will be given opportunity to display using that skill something in a hands-on manner. And that is why in programming we say you develop a program for library information system or airline tracking system or IRCT. So every sector will have their own skill to be deployed and also and will be showcased. அதை வச்சு தான் உங்களோட ஸ்கில் லெவல் பண்ணணும்.
ஓகே, தேங்க் யூ மேம்.
Excellent. The fundamental is express yourself. You should know what you want. You should ask what you can offer and demand the best. I have been an entrepreneur for 37 years. I studied my engineering, then to IIT, then came out in 1983. I started my industry. 37 years I have been a first generation entrepreneur. யாரும் உங்களை கை தூக்கி விட போறதில்ல, யாரும் உங்களை ட்ரிகர் பண்ண போறதில்ல, யாரும் உங்களை தயவு செஞ்சு இதை பண்ணி கொடுங்கன்னு கெஞ்ச போறதில்ல. We chase our dream. We fight for our rights. Every failure is a teaching towards success. We fall and we get up. Self-confidence is the first thing what we are taught as an individual. Have, first of all, confidence in you. இப்போ நான் இந்த ஸ்டேஜுக்கு நான் வரும்பொழுது இப்போ ஒரு 45 நிமிஷத்தில் முடிக்க முடியுமான்ற ஒரு கேள்வியோட தான் வந்தேன். நீங்கள் என்னை பார்த்துருப்பீங்க, யாரையுமே போறோம்னு நான் சொல்லவே இல்லை. We delegate the responsibility, we control the atmosphere, we get the best out of each of them and we moderate. இவ்வளவுதான் life. Enjoy your life, keep growing, keep dreaming and come up successfully in life. We at All India Manufacturers Organization end this 2 days seminar activity. I must thank Mr. Suresh, who is an entrepreneur by himself, who tirelessly conducted this 2 days event. Mr. Sudhakar, who is again an entrepreneur by himself. These are all the people who are role models for all of you. We have Mrs. Varalakshmi. She is a chartered accountant from Bangalore who came to help us on this 2 days program. We have Dr. M.S. Srinivasan, who moderated the program for all of you. This is a team and the speakers, obviously, who gave their best of the knowledge to the people in a limited time. It's very difficult to write Tirukkural. In 2 lines, if you want to communicate, it's very difficult. They all did their best. You all did your best. We hope together we will further the best of the activities in life. This is a continuous affair, and thank you every one of you. On behalf of all of you and on behalf of All India Manufacturers Organization, it's my pleasure to hand over a small token of memento to the speakers of today's last session. Thank you, Mr. Varek. Thank you, Hema. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, and we join for lunch now, and the students on this side and the teaching faculty and the guests are on this side. This hall is now being handed over to the police, and we will have every security drill on this place. Collect your admission pass for the Chief Minister's program college authority representative can come and contact us. We will hand over the number of passes which you will require. There will be a security drill hereafter, and at 4 we will allow again back to the hall. 4:30 we will be seated, and at 4:40 Chief Minister is expected. We will end the program by 5:45. And enjoy yourself, have a nice lunch, and thank you very much.